Hello everyone, welcome to Niswatch, a web series by Niswey. We talk about SEO, data analytics, web design, and basically anything which comes under the umbrella of digital marketing. Today's topic will be 7 phases of web design process, and why I chose this topic was basically many freelancers, many design agencies, various development companies who actually develop websites face a problem of overestimation. They cannot predict the effort going in the web design process. Ultimately, they end up actually over budgeting or breaching the deadlines or crossing the timelines, and the project end up on a very bad note. I've divided this whole process of web designing into 7 phases. The first phase, that will be a requirement gathering phase. What is requirement gathering when we talk about web design process? Actually, before starting a web design project, you should have some knowledge, some background of what kind of project it will be. So few factors which will actually play a major role in a web design process during the requirement gathering phases are: is it a web design project or it's a redesign project? So you have to know with the client that are you designing a website, are you starting a website from scratch, designing the website from scratch, or actually redesigning an existing website. Effort varies in both the cases. Are the brand guidelines ready with the client? I mean, do they have branding guidelines or you have to develop them? That also plays a big role in a web design process. Is their content ready? Do they have the content, or they have to write the content? The project will vary if the content is not ready. If the content is ready, the project may go faster. So you have to know if the content of the website is already ready. Next thing is, who will develop the website? Do they have a developer? The client has a developer, or you have to find a developer and coordinate with them. That might change the course of the project. So you have to know it. What are the features that a client is expecting on their website? They might have a few things already in their mind, like they need a download feature, a contact form must work like this, or they must be saying that whenever this happens, this kind of animation should come. These features are to be listed by clients if they already know it, or you can question them and bring out the features from the website which actually are required. Do they have payment gateway requirement? And many more such kind of requirements, such kind of information that you might need when you actually get into a project, when you actually start a project. Then you come upon a phase where you actually have to code the client. What will be the timeline? What should be the money that you quote the client, like justified code basically. So how do you get on your website design code? So what I've done is, I have accumulated few factors which actually can be counted, and you can come up with number of hours of effort which will go into a web design project, and you can come up with the code for your client. So the code to the client actually includes the time you will spend on the research, time on the data analytics. If they already have a website, they have Google Analytics or any other analytics implemented on their website, what's the takeaway from that? You have to analyze that. You will have to spend some time on that. So research, time on the data analytics, persona building. Persona building is a big exercise. I will explain that in the next phase. Wireframing time you spent on conceptualization of the design, time you spent on actually designing the website, and time you spend on the coordination and the meetings with the client. Meeting time you cannot ignore because that's a considerable amount of number of hours. The next phase is a very important phase, which is called a persona building phase, where you actually come up with who is the target segment, who is the target audience of your website. If you already know this, well and good. But if you don't know this, you cannot start building your website. So this is a guy, maybe you are working on a girls website, fashion apparels for girls. So if this guy will not be your target segment, you have to think, you have to get into the shoes of a girl and think, see, I am the website user. If this girl is a website user, what she must be thinking? What must be her age? What must be her income? Is she studying? Is she a student? She's a professional? How much time she's spending in an office? So all these factors help you decide what will be the decision making point of this girl during the journey of website visit, and you can think of various important points which you will put on the website during the design phase. I'll talk about the next phase, which is data analytics. Again, a very important phase. In a previous episode, Daisy talked about how actually to go in depth of data analytics and come up with a website design, how this plays a very important role in website designing. You have to analyze Google Analytics, you have to analyze data of various other tools which are implemented on your previous website. So all these factors will let you know what is working on your website and what is not working on your website. Since few things might not work on your website, you might find that the user is not finding those things relevant for the website. You might discard them, you might redesign them. So if there are few things which user is accessing more that you might need to put up front. So that will play a major factor in designing the website. Next phase is the phase where actually you step into the designing, the kind of designing. This phase is called wireframing. People call it prototyping. And how does that work? You can use your sketches. You can use online tools which come for wireframing. You can actually use your whiteboard, you can use your blackboard, you can use anything, but you have to come up with the sketches, the soft copy, the draft version of the website structure, the navigation, so that you can explain your client, this is how your website elements will be placed on the website, this is how the website will navigate, so that the client is able to take a call. Yeah, this is what I want, this is how the navigation should be, or I don't want this to be here, I want that to be here, I don't want this to be on the home page. So come up with a wireframe very close to what your website will actually look like. Yeah. One more thing you have to consider in website wireframing is, how do you start wireframing? I recommend you start your wireframing with the home page. Make a wireframe of your home page, visit the client, have a meeting, schedule a meeting, show them the wireframe, discuss the wireframe, see if they like it or not, see the elements they feel are missing on the home page, see if they want something else on the home page. Home page becomes very critical in the way you proceed with rest of the wireframes and rest of the design. So as soon as you come up with your home page wireframe, visit, schedule a meeting with your client and try to finalize the wireframe, the first wireframe, that is your home page. Which wireframe to pick up next when I'm done with the home page, when the client has approved the wireframe of the home page. I will recommend pick the heaviest pages of the website and start building the wireframe. Again, get in touch with your client and see what's working on them, what's not working on them, changes, tweaks, and finalize those heavy pages. Lighter pages you can take up later in your stages. If you're done with the home page, you're done with the heavy pages, you're done with the lighter pages. How to deliver, how to talk to client. Suppose you have 30 pages on your website, divide those 30 pages into batches, say batches of 3. So you will have 10 batches and you can actually send your three wireframe first batch to the client on Monday and ask them for the review by Wednesday. The next phase should contain the next 3 wireframes and so forth and so on. So you're delivering to the client a considerable number of pages, a set of pages which actually they can review and have a picture. So that way your approval process will be faster and your execution process will also be faster. Divide your pages into batches and deliver it to client for approval. Now the thinking, the creative part, conceptualization. You have to conceptualize will look like. So this is where your creativity comes into picture, and this is where you have to deliver and awe your client. Talk to the client, come up with what kind of website they are looking for. They are looking for sleek design, or they are looking for a bold design, they are looking for a minimal design, what kind of design or appeal they are looking for. That will help you move to the next step, which is coming up with elements of design. When I say element of design, what is that? What is an element of design? It's an icon set. It's the set of icons which can be used on the website. It is the choice of colors, the color palette that you can have on your website. It can be the transitions, the type of animations, transitions. It can be the shapes, the geometric shapes. How are they going to look like? These factors together are called element of design. So you have to do some research, you have to put a thought, and you can maybe use some free tools. We use wix.com to actually show the prototype of transitions, designs, elements, color palettes, the versions that we have thought of, and show it to client. So client gets a visual perspective of how their website may look like. You can show them, yeah, these are the color palettes that we have, these are the icon sets that we have, and let us know, yeah, based on what you think is going to work or not. So you get an approval there. You get, because the client is actually seeing it up front, they can take a call there that this is what I want, this is how the line should be, this is how the icon set should be, this is the font that I like. These factors will be a breakthrough for you. So come up with element of design, show it to client, and you're done. Yeah, the last and the phase 7, your website design, where you actually start designing your website, is a very critical phase, and I have tried to summarize the whole process into this particular last step, to how to go about a project and start your designing process. What should you do? We say website design is a content driven thing. Your content should drive the design. So what we do is we figure out what's the content calendar like. Based on the content calendar, we come up with the design calendar. See, the content calendar, the person says our team or our testimonial pages, the content team says the testimonial pages will come on this particular date. So we start our design of testimonial page after that. So yeah, you should be knowing content calendar. Based on that, you design your design calendar. Then come up with the sitemap. Study the sitemap and come up with various type of unique pages on the website. When I say unique pages, that is important because unique pages is what you are going to design now. Content will keep on changing. You have to just design the unique pages on the website. Come up with a number of unique pages requirement on the website. What you do then is, as I told you earlier, split your whole number of pages into sets, batches, and start delivering. You should be knowing when the review meeting of each set is happening. You have to come up with a time slot for each review meeting, because that helps you streamline the delivery process. You have to know when the client is ready to talk to you. So you can block a calendar on maybe Thursday, post lunch, and discuss every set of design in detail, take their feedback, incorporate the changes, and give it back to them. So you should be knowing when the client is free to talk to you regarding the design batches. Once all these changes, all the batches, designs are reviewed, what to do now? So client might have given you approval on the batches, but they don't get the holistic picture how the website is going to look like, because they have seen the pages in batches. They don't know what is it going to look like together. The next phase, after the final review is done, the client has approved, the delivery to the development team starts. You might say that our development process starts as soon as we start designing. That's okay, that's pretty fine, you can do that. Yeah, so this is how I divide the whole process of website designing into 7 phases. This may vary from project to project or client to client, but yeah, the wireframe, the skeleton of the website design process remains like this. If you have any feedback on this, you can get back to me at business@niswey.com, and I'll be actually very happy to talk to you. So that's it for today. Hope you liked the session. Please don't forget to like our YouTube channel. If you have any feedback, any recommendation, you can write to us at business@niswey.com. Thank you very much. See you in our next episode. Bye-bye.